Hello, I'm Julia Cordova. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel and liking my videos. I really appreciate it. I missed you last week. I'm sorry I took a week off, but Happy New Year. We are going to kick some boot-a-tay this year. Last year was incredible because of the volatility, but I think we can make this year even better. I took a look at some charts and I'm going to go over them for you real quick. You ready? And what? I got a new pair of reading glasses. I hope you like them. I don't know. You can comment on them. I'm not sure if I'll listen or not. But I will say, let me put them on first, then I can talk about it. Okay, ready? All right. I will say that I was expecting them to be not reflective because it said they were anti-reflective, but I think it meant anti-reflective like computer screens. So if you like them, maybe I will go to an actual like glasses place and have them fixed. So anyway, Happy New Year. Let's talk charts. Okay. So first of all, let's look at ES Weekly. So last week, or the week before last, when I didn't post a video, we actually just hit this purple resistance line, bounced off of it, and made a hammer. Now, you know, hammers can be considered toppy at the top, in an uptrend. But alas, this past week, which was a short week, I wouldn't call it engulfing because I like to call engulfing when it embodies the entire length of the candle. But we had a very bullish looking candle with hardly a wick at all. And then I was thinking about it. Well, this is the weekly chart. What does the yearly chart look like? So let's go to January. And I couldn't, for some reason, figure out how to make a yearly chart on any of these programs. So whatever, let's figure it out. So if it started here and it went down here and then it ended back up here, that is a hammer. Yeah. So from a yearly perspective, we do have a hammer, and of course that is at the top of an uptrend, right? Right. Okay, so hammers are not my favorite in uptrends, but many times over when we've made a hammer here, and this is weekly, but many times over in an uptrend when we make a hammer, it still keeps going up. So not my favorite, but that is what this past year looked like. Unfortunately, I can't do any more analysis than that until I figure out how to make a yearly chart. Okay, so anyway, let's look at the weekly here. For this week, the real pivot to watch, if you are thinking that we might be close to some sort of breakdown or at least back test of some kind, would be 3737.8. So below that in the weekly, I mean, it's still very bullish looking, but sort of, for now, curvy. So we'll have to see what that means, if anything. I typically also don't like curvy things in uptrends. I like more flaggy things as opposed to curvy things, but that's what we have right now. So anyway, 3737 is the weekly pivot to watch in ES. For the daily, for the daily ES chart, really it's not going to start looking bearish at all or like it'll have any significant correction unless it gets below 3648. So 3648 would be sort of the daily, at least, I mean, this is a moving target, right? But on Tuesday, for example, 3648 would be the level to watch. Other than that, I drew in the same slope here at the top of this candle. We closed exactly on it at 3748 or so. And so really any more above that, and you can keep drawing these lines in forever, and it'll just, I'm not going to after this. I'm just going to stop. So anyway, 3748 is where we stop. That's the pretty much the top of this line. This line is actually 3750 for tomorrow or Sunday night. So 3750 is the value to watch. Any close below that, bears still have a chance, but it's not a good one, but it's still a chance. Okay, let's look at NASDAQ Weekly. So we broke up from this pennant thing. We have yet another one of these lines drawn. And so from a NASDAQ perspective, weekly perspective, same thing where we had a hammer 2 weeks ago, and then had a very bullish looking holiday week. And so really from a weekly perspective, not going to start to look bearish until below 12,592 or so. And then once it gets below there, there is some ground to cover. However, it could absolutely just continue going up. So from an RSI perspective, we have some blah. I mean, it really doesn't tell us anything. I mean, it's of course lower from here, but there's nothing intelligent I can add about that right now. So let's look at daily. I think that in the daily, the possible or divergence is a little more obvious. The possible third point of divergence is a little more obvious. And so, you know, I mentioned before, we were sort of potentially looking at a wedgie thing that we broke out of, came back in, broke out of again, and then we're sort of hovering now. Jada, come on in. We're sort of hovering now. Wallaby, sorry. Right, Wallaby, don't, please. Come. We're sort of hovering now right below this resistance at 12,909, and then super resistance, and sort of the area where I might add a significant amount if it gets there would be 12,946 into my shorts. Okay, and then below that, really again, not going to start to look super bearish until, or like it might correct, until it's below 12770. Okay, now let's look at gold. So here's gold weekly, daily, and hourly, and I'm going to convert all of my charts to this, I think. And I should also mention thank you to those of you who are using TradingView, using my link. I really appreciate it, and I'm going to start sharing charts just with those people. So yay. If you did sign up for TradingView via my link, I will figure it out. We'll find out, and I will absolutely start to share charts with you if you'd like. If not, that's okay. But okay. So anyway, let's look at gold. So gold sort of broke out of this secondary, or this channel. But you know, if you squint your eyeballs, it's still really within this flag. We week before last, you know, we had sort of a want candle, and then yet another inside candle. So it really hasn't done anything from a weekly perspective, but consolidate more after breaking out of this channel. And from a daily perspective, samesies, but it's really not going to start to look bullish to me until it's above 1926.1. Oh, look at that. It did gap up though. We see that's the advantage of doing these late and procrastinating. So we can look at the hourly chart and see this. I was just about to talk about the fact that, you know, you can put your mouse over this and you can see that this looks like an ascending triangle, which is very bullish. And of course, a gap up, I was going to say, would be very bullish. And wow, look at it go. Holy crap. That went up quickly. So, oh, look at this. Let's see if it can get up here really fast. But anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna have to start at least one scale into my gold position at 1926 if it gets there. But we'll see. Other than that, I still think that, I mean, this wasn't a convincing breakout. Let's look at silver. Same thing, a gap up to start the week for sure. And for silver, really, though, the target price for, I mean, I had mentioned before in one of my videos that if it got above here, that would be sort of an easy long. And it did, and I didn't mention that I got long because I didn't actually think it would hold the way that it shot up. Don't ask. I'm going to have to do the smaller time frames here to show you later, maybe in a longer video. But anyway, if it gets above 27.67, and if it looks like it will stay above, you'll see me, like, on Twitter probably say, I bought silver. I probably didn't get the best price like you guys did if you bought down here. But, yeah, I will wait to buy silver until it gets above 27.67 and or above this resistance, because that will make me feel more comfortable. Otherwise, let's see what happens. So let's look at oil. oil is still consolidating, and we had an inside candle last week. It's just sort of a pennant at this point, and I still was, and this is oil weekly futures, and this is the oil and gas equities ETF, or XOP, here on a weekly basis. And you can see we sort of had what was another down week, but it sort of ended on an uptick. I mean, yeah, so it still didn't have, however, go back and test any of these MAs. So that is possible, or more consolidation is possible. And I still have a small position in DRIP, which is the 3x bear version of XOP. So I am still in that right now. Now let's look at natural gas, which after having a 10% gap down at the beginning of last week, and then just gradually filling that gap, just gapped up bigly to start the week. So I am still ultimately extremely bullish natural gas, although you can see here it is, if I go to a cleaner version of this chart, you can see, well, that's easy to see here. So you can, this is the weekly, the daily, and the hourly. And you can see here we ended the weekly back above this trend line, and then it looks like from a weekly perspective it just hit the 20 MA and then bounced down. So far, it's just Sunday night / Monday, but that's what's going on so far. And yeah, so I don't know what to say. Natty is a jerky witch. So these weekend gaps are absolutely murder, but it still looks extremely bullish to me. I know. I'm still long UNG, some UNG. I can't help myself. I just can't help myself. Let's look at coffee. So coffee last week went back and almost tested this trend line. I almost bought my third scale, but I did not. And it still looks super bullish to me, although it needs to make a move here quickly, or else I'm going to get frustrated. Yeah. So watching 36.66 as the main bear bull pivot here, and as long as it stays above that, if it does retest 36.27, I will definitely attempt to buy my last scale there, and then stop out just below that when it hits this next MA, if it does, because it needs to stop doing this whole every week doing the same thing. And then a breakout will be let's see, it's really 40.73 or so. Whenever it gets there, that would be a huge breakout and resistance. Okay, that's it. Make myself big. All right, well, it's good to see you again. I wish you a very prosperous, happy, healthy, and wealthy new year, and I will see you on the interwebs. Okay, bye.